So today we're talking about how to do a art study. There's all kinds of art studies you can do, and essentially all it is where you pick a certain subject matter or a type of element like a line or space or whatever, or you can pick a specific thing like bottles or cars, things, whatever you want it to be, and you're going to do a whole bunch of studying on it and record your findings. Oops, this stuff's blowing away. So for this week, you're doing a study off of something that's living and in nature. So it has to be a living thing. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is decide what you're going to study on. And here's an example. I put oak tree study. So the first thing you're going to do is pick what you're doing and write it on your paper. Now you can take up 2 pages, or you can just do 1. This is your kind of a practice run. So as long as you finish this, and it looks good, okay, and I can see that you've done some studying on whatever your subject is, you're going to get 100 on this, so don't freak out about it. But for example, with this one, you can go onto your computer and find pictures, and you can glue them on here, and I tried to draw an oak leaf. And the point of this is that as you do this, you know how we all draw leaves? You can draw a leaf like this, and then you draw the little vein through it just randomly. Well, in these oak leaves, as you draw this, or I did, you find out that all the veins here, they actually go with the protrusion of the leaf. There's another vein for this area, just like we have arteries and stuff that go to our limbs and our legs, arms, stuff like that. These leaves also have veins that go into each of their lobes of their leaf. Okay, which is really cool. So you find this kind of stuff out as you're drawing, and you also find out the leaf is not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical, meaning it doesn't completely match on the other side. So you could do this with several different leaves and draw each of the leaves on here. You don't have to get a picture to stick on here, but I printed out one so I could have. You can actually go outside, look at lots of different leaves on an oak tree, if this is what you were doing, and just sit and draw all the different leaves and make your observations. Now when you do this, you want to write your observations on here. So I would write stuff like the veins extend into each lobe. And you can also write again, let's see, I'm going to make sure I know it's for this, not symmetrical. So I can write it's not symmetrical, and I can write that this is oak leaf. Now there's several different types of oak, so if I find out which kind this is, I could also write that here. So you're going to make annotations here, just like you do with your art A&Es. You make those annotations, and so you can move on to other things. Here's an oak tree. So what I can do is I could print several different kinds of oak trees, or if I have oak trees outside, and I can just kind of draw the shape that it makes, right? So I can see the proportion to the base and the top and make sure I have proportions right, and I could do several different kinds so I can see how they change. And I'm learning stuff the whole time I'm doing this about oak trees, and which is the point of doing a study. The whole reason you study for a test or study for a certain subject is so that you gain knowledge about it and you come out the other side more informed than when you started. That's the purpose of the study. So pick something that you actually want to study about, that you think you would enjoy. Here's something else with the oak tree. I printed a little picture of an acorn, and it's kind of big because acorns have lots of detail. And so I can come on here and do an acorn. I can draw me an acorn. I can even use paints. You can use watercolor on this. You can decorate your outside of your thing. So you could decorate this with vines. I can draw some vines on here if I want to, just because it's plant themed, and I can make them come around. I can even do oak tree roots if I wanted to do that, and drawing some stuff with that. I can do the bark. If you have an oak tree outside and you want to draw some of the bark and try some texturing, you can do that, or paint it. You can add pastel to this. I could take these leaves and do different ones for the different seasons because it's coming into fall. So you can probably find some different color leaves here pretty soon, maybe even now. And you can show that. You can even do a leaf that is damaged, you know, and it has different colors on it. You can do that. So there's lots and lots of options. So like I said, any living thing, and if you do like, you know, like a tiger or something, you're not going to be able to go out and look at a tiger probably. So what you can do is you can look at lots of pictures. Now again, if you can't look at it in person, then I would put a few pictures on here. But in general, if you have images on the internet that you're looking at, you can just look at them and draw stuff if you want. You don't have to have a whole bunch of pictures on here. But it's good for this to have some actual pictures stuck on here, and do some practices. You can add color, different media, you can use charcoals, make your annotations, make sure you have your title somewhere, just fix it up pretty however you want it. It can be wherever you want it. And that's pretty much about it. We're going to start using our vocabulary in these, but you don't have to this go around because we don't have a whole bunch of vocabulary yet. But try to talk as arty as you can, and just don't put stuff like, instead of like here I put the veins extend into each lobe, don't put, you know, there's lines in each part. You know, try to speak a little more advanced than that. So, but that should be it. It shouldn't take you too long. Probably I'd at least spend, you know, you're probably going to spend 2 hours on this week. That's why it's kind of just, this is all you're doing other than your vocabulary and your observational sketch. So if you can do just 1 page, that's fine, but usually these take up 2 pages. So just have it to where it's flipped like this. Don't do it to where you have one here and then, you know, one over here, because we want to be able to open it up and look at the whole thing. So all right, finish this up and I will see you Tuesday.